Welcome back, everybody, to another XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. Thank you, everybody, for being here live. Thank you for everybody for listening in with us, hanging out with us, being here today. The Xbox is an amazing time.
The Xbox is an amazing time.
Yes. Have you got to play your Series S more
I've been playing
recently?
it like crazy. Yeah, I play it more than my X, actually, because I put it... It's all about location.
It is location.
You know, so...
Location is everything. Location's everything in real estate. It's everything in gaming.
Yeah, it's very, very true. But yeah, I really like it a lot. The S is a cool box. The S is fantastic. Highly recommended by yours truly.
There we go.
The only problem... Okay, here's the problem I have with it, though.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of good things. Note that. The hard drive size is rather small.
It's too small. The Series X, I don't have a problem not upgrading it. It's big enough.
Yeah.
But the S, you're constly having
That was my nickname in high school.
Big enough?
Yeah.
It's big enough?
No, I'm just kidding.
Or was it just big enough?
Just JBE.
Just Mark, just big enough McSpicy.
Yes. No, yeah. 500 gigs is... I mean, it's okay, but that's 3 games if you play Halo, Warzone, or Call of Duty, and Forza.
The problem is the memory. The memory expansion is just
super expensive.
It's as expensive as a Series S.
It's true.
So why am I buying? I will never buy one until that price drop. I will pay $100 for that expansion.
Supposedly on the Series X, because with the smart delivery, you're not downloading like the assets that the X would have, so it's theoretically a little bit smaller. And remember that's kind of how they advertised it would balance out, but it still seems to fill up rather quickly.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about Halo. Let's pull up some Halo footage, actually. We've talked about Halo a lot in this show because Halo... Halo is Xbox's marquee title. It's God of War, so to speak, in the respect that it is it.
Yeah,
It's been struggling on its multiplayer side, and this week a leak dropped. An insider said that he had heard that Halo was shifting over to the Unreal 5 engine. Now, what engine is Halo on? Slip Space?
It's the Slip Space engine, but the original engine Halo was on, they called it Blam. Because, it was just that. It was a different time back then. My guess is that the Slip Space engine is just a highly modified Blam engine, which is what Halo 1 through, I believe, 4 were on. But I may be wrong, but that's just my guess. So,
is this something we can look up, or is it like proprietary information?
Well, we know that the original Halos used Blam.
Blammo!
Yeah, and then Halo Infinite is Slip Space. All I'm saying is I believe, this is just my conspiracy theory, that the Slip Space engine is just a heavily modified Blam engine, right?
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Rumor is that they're moving there, and the reason cited to Unreal 5 from Slip Space is that
the rumors are they're moving the engine to
they're moving the game to Unreal 5.
Unreal 5. Okay. And that the reason for that is because the current engine does not allow for quick updates or adds, hence the season issues.
Which is funny because I remember, and no one can tell me that I'm wrong, they specifically said they're excited for this engine because they can drop in content quickly.
Well, quickly compared to what they were using before, I'm sure.
Well, that's not how they said it. Which makes me believe that there's more problems under the hood of the engine than originally.
Well, if you remember, what leads also to this rumor or compounds it is that the lead engineer of Slip Space recently left. They've made all these changes, or not changes,
restructures, I guess.
But restructures, and so he's no longer working there. He's a recent person who has left. So a lot of people think this is real. A lot of people also think that that's a big lift, and how does that happen? Is that actually... Does Halo feel the same on Unreal 5?
See, that's the concern of mine, too, because the engine does give you the feel of the game.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how the game feels moving over, if they can make it feel the same, or if it just naturally feels different.
I think 100% the game's going to feel the exact same.
Well, if this is true.
It's just going to be far more optimized. It's going to be far prettier, even though the game is already pretty. I mean, okay, let me tell you why I think that. Tarkov is on.
Why you think it's true?
Why I think that you can totally just make the game feel the exact same.
Okay.
Tarkov is on Unity.
Yep.
Hearthstone is on Unity.
Okay.
Those are very, very two different games on the same engine.
Is there another shooter that's on Unity outside of Tarkov?
I'm sure we could find one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's several. So you can do a lot. What I'm saying is you can do a lot with an engine. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of power. And Unreal 5 is... I mean, so keep in mind, I'm not a developer, but from what I can see and tell and how Epic... I've said this before, Epic I feel like they're a game engine company rather than a Fortnite developer. Look at how quickly they can do content updates with Fortnite. Yeah. And the changes in the game. They can do concerts in the game. They can update their game with the game never shutting off and having it go to and then they go to chapter 2 and then it zooms into a world and then everybody's falling into the world. That engine is extremely powerful.
And versatile. I think when their updates. I think when they originally went to chapter 2, I think that was from Unreal 4.25.
Yeah.
I think that was like their update. Yeah.
So I feel as though this is a great move simply because of we already know when somebody knows what they're doing with this engine, which is Epic. I mean, they are Unreal 5. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of power when it comes to content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if Halo can deliver the content that Fortnite delivers, I'm all for
Game
the change.
over.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
Gears of War is on Unreal.
Yeah.
Has always been on Unreal. So there's another game you can kind of take reference from. So the other rumor I heard, because I was watching a few different videos from different creators, and then I think Jez Gordon had some input on it too. It's really floating around.
He's from Windows Central.
Yeah, but I heard that I just lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
So.
Well, the concern is it okay?
Welcome to getting old, Jordan.
The question is this real? And nobody of influence is saying it's not real, but it's also not being confirmed by anybody. And I think that's the question. It's got to be a massive endeavor.
You're talking. I would guess. Again, I'm not a software engineer, but I would assume this is a multi-year process.
Don't they? All they do is just change the extension of the file, right?
Yeah,
it goes.
Goes
from Blammo to U5.
Works with U5. Works with the files I download.
Run as administrator and you're good.
Mark made a good point when we were talking about it earlier. He said I would just give Epic a ton of money to help convert that engine as quickly as possible.
I would totally get their help, recruit them. Instead, I was saying this, instead of donating $100 million to a show that isn't even about your game, I would invest instead of donate that into Unreal employees and just contact Unreal or Epic and just say, hey, can we borrow you guys for like 5 months, maybe a year? And here's a lot of money. Make this into that. And I think that would be a great investment.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, though, like when you look at everything, can Forge mode exist on Unreal?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, of course
That's what that game was built on. It was Save the World mode. When I'm talking about
Forge.
I
see. Yeah.
It's a game building. It's an engine that even if you go to Fortnite right now and you go to the arcade mode.
So let's pretend this is true. We just saw like this whole showcase of Forge coming.
Yeah, but I think this is a good step. If this is true, this is a really good step. Our complaints are not necessarily about gameplay. Our complaints about
content
and
the speed at
and this is a move
it drops.
Correct. This is a move that will.
So the
make
question: can this happen before? Is it March? Is it the March?
No, it's not.
So if this is true, which
can it happen just for multiplayer?
No. If this is true, which is looking promising, I think we're going to get another 6-month season in March because I think a lot of their efforts are going to be focused on converting everything over to the Unreal Engine, and then we'll have Halo Infinite 2.0 when that's ready. But I think if this is true, I think it's business as usual right now. We're going to get 9-month seasons. You're going to get kind of content drops here and there, basically just like what season 1 and 2 have been. And then when the conversion is done, then that's when we'll get the big
So
stuff.
let me just clarify some stuff here. This is over at windowscentral.com just to make sure
So
that...
these are we're talking all rumors.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one has said yes, but no one has said no.
So this is Jez Gordon. So a new report from YouTuber, here's like the top TLDR. A new report from YouTuber Sean W. suggests that Halo Infinite's Battle Royale, codenamed Tatanka, is switching to the Unreal Engine and perhaps even Halo itself. So in the report, it's specific to Tatanka, which is their Battle Royale. Yeah. Makes sense if they start there and then trickle everything out.
Well,
especially if they plan on that Battle Royale being huge.
We obviously know that Unreal can handle Battle Royales very well.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Since the departure of Halo leader Bonnie Ross, many fans have been wondering what, if any, change in direction may be the way for Microsoft's flagship shooter franchise. We've been investigating Sean W.'s rumors, this is Windows Central's, for the past week and can tentatively corroborate some aspects of it. Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Well, the thing is I feel like something this big, because this is actually, I mean, for the most part, this is exciting news, right? There's, a few drawbacks in the respect that if this is true, I think that conversion will take priority over live service, which is a bummer short term, right? But a gain long term.
But the short term is every 9 months.
Yeah. So I mean, but I feel like something like this, either 343 or Microsoft would deny it quickly. You know what I mean?
They'd come like this. These rumors are not true.
Yeah, like, sorry guys. Or it's literally just a rumor, and they're like, oh, it's not a bad idea.
It's a rumor that's not negative necessarily.
Yeah, they're like,
which has been plaguing Halo for quite some time.
Which good press is rare these days. It feels like.
Let's just sit back and enjoy this.
That's a great point, because having said that, you don't want to let that rumor keep going, and only to one day after it really picks up steam say, nope, that was false, and then it's like, whoa.
On the announcement of another 9-month season, right?
It makes sense that they piecemeal it, right? So they start with Tatanka.
See how it runs, how it goes.
Fun name to say.
Also, well, because that's from Dances with Wolves.
Tatanka.
I love that movie.
Tatanka.
I think in Halo 5, one of the Spartans on your team was named Tatanka.
Also, they used to have those metal Tonka trucks.
Yeah, they don't make those like they used to.
No, I had one. It was great.
Where did it go? Is it it's like underground now?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now, this is an interesting question. If this rumor is true, how much time, money, and effort just got wasted on building your own slip space engine?
Yeah, but at the same time, this is the IP.
Should have done this 5 years ago.
This is going to be reviving the IP.
No, yeah.
But it's like just starting over, really. It's like making a whole new game, right?
That's why you throw $100 million into it.
I like the way you're thinking.
Instead of a season 2.
Instead of a non-canonical, how would you say that? Yeah, canonical? Like a non-canon story that does not market to your audience.
Okay. How much money do you think $100 million dropped to Epic today gets you it by March?
Well, here's the problem with Epic as well. They make that in like 3 days.
They just came out with a Macarena dance. They've already made their $500 million or whatever it is.
But I mean, $100 million is a lot of money. So I mean, they're so.
Lord of the Rings trilogy. Amazon spent $1 billion on a piece of shit. So
wait, do you not like that show now?
Oh, well, I haven't watched today's yet. I have to watch. Yeah, it is. So like stuff happens, and you're like, ooh, stuff happens.
Last time I talked to you, you liked the show.
That was before
I've seen the first 2 episodes, and I am pleasantly surprised. But I haven't seen anything beyond the first 2. I'm kind of waiting for the season.
So you could just skip episode 3 and go right to episode 4, and then episode 4, in my mind, feels like they're trying too hard.
Well,
episode 4 is like, when you're in high school. And you're like awkward in situations, so you try too hard. You're like, try to be funny around people you don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it comes off bad. That's what episode 4 is like.
Yeah, well, I was excited for the trailer of episode 3 because they're going to Numenor, which is very exciting in the lore. I'm sorry if I think it's pronounced.
You mean episode 2?
No, because 1 and 2 came out, and then they gave you a trailer for the rest of the season.
Oh, okay.
So I was excited that they're going to Numenor, which is a really important place. And sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Tolkien used a lot of weird words, So I believe it's Numenor, which is the humans. It's really cool, and there's a lot of stuff that comes from there. So, and there's a really cool part of that story in Numenor about certain bad people and good people and other stuff.
Yeah. So I'd still wait and see. I will watch tonight. I always watch it on Friday, but I'm losing my patience. Let's just say that. So is it a piece of shit? It's leaning that way. For me, I recognize it's subjective. Don't at me. But especially when you're watching House of Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And House of Dragon is legitimately quality storytelling.
House of the Dragon.
It's like when you have real Mexican food and then you're forced to go to Del Taco. You know? You understand what real but Jordan, you really like Del Taco.
But I like it all, man.
But not quite because Del Taco's still good.
Well,
I think
real Mexican food. I'm not talking like I have been ruined for life.
I'll tell you what it's like.
Okay.
This is more accurate. It's like having a nice juicy steak, right?
Okay.
Perfect, how you want it. And then it's having Beyond Steak.
Oh yeah, that Beyond.
And you
stuff
realize this is not.
What's Beyond Steak?
They're tricking you.
Yeah, it's not steak at all. It's not meat at all. Anytime you see Beyond before something,
substitute.
It's basically they crunched up a leaf and hardened it.
That's what it's like.
And then spray painted it brown to look like meat.
I guess there's a lot of Del Taco fans in chat. I'm sorry. Sorry.
But forgive me. Because Del Taco's still good. IMO. But that's what it's like, having like a steak and you're like, and you're all revved up to go. There it is.
Revved up.
You're sitting there and you bite into it and you're like, what is this? And they're like, oh, this is Beyond Steak. And you're like,
it's just like,
what?
Where do you get Beyond Steak? Like,
did you know this is why I want to move to Texas just for this alone. Texas passed a law, supposedly. Jordan, you told me this. So
I laughed.
So hopefully this is true. That if you cannot call something meat if it's not meat. So you cannot call Beyond Meat. It's illegal.
You can't lie.
Thank you. Applaud for that rule.
Well, because I was actually I really appreciated this because I went and the picture always looks good on the menu,
they
right?
They did it at KFC and I had no idea what everyone was talking about.
That Beyond burrito looks good. I'm thinking it's beyond your senses, tasty. You know?
It's not just meat. It's beyond meat.
I take a big bite into that thing and it was the nastiest thing. And it's just like, tell me what it is. It's plant-based food.
You're like,
just tell me what it is.
This is tofu.
And hey, that's fine. I'm not against that kind of food, but that's not what I want. I want a meaty burrito.
Yeah, if you say it's beyond meat.
Yeah, you're like, oh man.
What is this that I must partake of?
If you describe your wife as beyond woman, that's like the ultimate woman, right? Not a substitute.
Not a piece of celery.
It was I'm not against there is some veggie stuff or plant-based stuff that I have eaten that is good, but this Beyond Meat stuff, it's no dice.
That reminds me, I heard a rumor about McDonald's a while ago, and it just makes me laugh.
It's false. Fake news.
Okay, then I won't even mention it.
I'm just kidding.
No, that they to get around that law.
Oh, the Beyond Meat?
Yeah, they created a subsidiary company called 100% Beef.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a packaging company.
I've heard that before. I think you've said that to me before.
And it's a packaging company so they can wrap their burgers
in 100%
beef.
That's next level. Okay.
Yeah, but
you have to respect that.
But it's still meat, though.
Yeah, at least it's not Beyond Meat.
Okay. All right.
You know, to be honest, I always side with McDonald's because I think they take a lot of flack for no reason.
Yeah, ever since that fat
Super
movie.
Size Me?
Yeah,
Super Size Me.
It was
of course they're going to be unhealthy.
Yeah, everybody knows it's not healthy.
Yeah, that's why I go there.
That's funny.
I go there because they have $1 cheeseburger that's just good and greasy.
That melts in your mouth.
I know it's not healthy. It's not
they do take a lot of flack.
They do. So that's why I generally, unless it's something egregious, you know what I mean? I generally always side with McDonald's because it's everybody gets mad at them for no reason.
Made me fat.
Yeah, and it's
well, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. That's why we go there.
Yeah, you could insert any restaurant there, and if you ate there for 30 days, you'd be fat. Every day.
I know. B-Boy Will in chat. Sad day. It's freaking inflation. It's not $1 anymore.
Inflation.
Or stagflation or whatever they're calling it.
Has McDonald's brought back the all-day breakfast?
Yeah, I believe it is all-day breakfast.
Now I'm on Team McDonald's.
Have you met anyone that doesn't like their breakfast? Isn't it so
or at least
good?
one part of their breakfast? Because I like to get their bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffins.
Oh, McMuffins
and
see,
are
look,
so
again,
good.
It makes you fat, and you're okay with it.
I'm going there knowing that they're literally putting bacon, eggs, between two syrup pancakes. Like, I'm not expecting to lose weight. Like, I just, they take so much flack, and I don't get it.
It's not a protein shake.
Yeah, like, I'm so confused.
And they're so
Beyond
smart.
McGriddle.
Dollar drinks. Genius.
Like even
Genius.
with the what is it, the pesticides things, they're like, they spray stuff on their crops to do this, and it's like, yeah, but the end result is good. You know, like, it doesn't bother me.
Not good for you.
I know what I'm eating. Yeah. If you don't like that they spray stuff on their potatoes, just go somewhere else.
Yeah, to bring it back, that's what Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power is like to me.
Yeah, anyway.
Halo, though. Any finishing thoughts on Halo?
No, it's exciting.
It is.
I don't know how long a change like this would make. That's why I was like, give $100 million to Epic and have them do it.
And just have it do it right away.
Because they can do things in like, they can do things in a week that you've never thought you could.
Yeah, name another game that shut off its game. To introduce
Blizzard, Overwatch 2
to introduce
several times in the last couple of days
on purpose as marketing to introduce a new season.
The only one that I think was on the same scale of success as Fortnite would be Final Fantasy XIV. A Realm
Genius.
Reborn. Yeah,
it's genius. It's genius. I have to admit.
Well, yeah, like what
Gotta
David's saying
respect the
is
Fortnites.
like how they did it.
Yeah.
With a marketing,
Yeah.
on a marketing standpoint.
well, that's how Final Fantasy.
so.
did
How
it
did
too.
they do it though? I was
So basically, if you've ever seen, they basically made a big world boss that came out of that destroyed the moon and just blew up the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and you're like, oh man, yeah. And then like you get teleported as the Warrior of Light, and then servers go down, and then they come back up, and you're poof, in the new world.
That's cool.
I think it was Bahamut, right? He came out of the moon.
Did you go to like a Matrix
Dude,
loading screen?
and there's an epic cutscene where you're like, oh,
I
man.
want lots and lots
Yeah,
of guns in a
there's-
white room.
Yeah. I actually hope World of Warcraft does something like that one of these days, where they just blow the world up with a big mega boss and then new game.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Who's the ultimate dragon? Deathwing, right? Could Deathwing technically? Or
No,
is Deathwing dead?
it would be. I mean, the ultimate dragon. If you're talking like the Warcraft universe, I believe it'd probably be like Galakrond.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it took all the other dragons to beat him, and the way they beat him,
He is the ultimate card. Because you have to like summon him in Hearthstone. I know the lore from a card game.
It's a really, yeah. It was kind of weird how they beat him.
Was it like War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, where they just gave him disease?
Well,
And then everything ended.
They basically like they just shoved stuff down his throat and choked him to death. It was interesting.
Like Game of Thrones.
Well,
when
he
pours
does need
gold
to breathe,
down the
right?
throat.
Yeah, kind of like that. Except it was like a frost ball, and they just shoved it down his throat. I can't say it on the podcast. It's just like,
It's too graphic.
well, it's just. I mean, I can say it, but it's like the way you describe it. It's just like,
It's not family friendly.
yeah, it's just like, oh, okay. They froze their big ice balls and shoved it in his throat. Like, that's how they killed him. He choked to death,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Did I spoil something? Chat saying I spoiled something. Did I spoil something? I didn't mean to if I did.
I don't know.
I don't
Let's
know,
take
yeah.
some super chats, though. Nate92 drops a super chat. Thank you very much. Nate92 for $5 says, thank you for correcting House of Dragon. It's House of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Are you sure?
House of the Dragon, yeah, is the name of it, because they are the house of the dragon.
Yeah, and in fantasy novels, we're very particular about grammar.
Yeah.
And
Very good.
fantasy in general.
Very good. So let's talk about Overwatch updates. Jordan, you were very excited. There's a lot of Overwatch stuff.
Yeah, so
that has dropped
I'm
this
just going to say this.
Okay.
Overall, the new Overwatch 2.0 update, it's not a sequel.
Oh, are we going to talk about Overwatch now?
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about this.
So overall, my thoughts have been good with the gameplay. The launch was not great, but I told Mark, it's like, well, what do I expect? I'm going to be honest, Blizzard has been botching launches since 2004. So the original World of Warcraft, when it launched, not very good.
Wait.
Servers were going down. Now,
Pause on that note. How's your most recent World of Warcraft launch with the Lich King?
That I will give him credit. That launch wasn't too bad. There was still some like an hour queue time for me on some of the launch nights. Wintergrass, which is a battleground, is pretty laggy still, which is,
So they failed.
well, I mean, that's end game stuff, but yeah, it's just I was telling Mark before the show, Asmongold, the streamer,
Yes.
he describes it perfectly. And this is nothing against people at Blizzard, but this is just how it feels, right? He says when Blizzard launched Warcraft back in 2004, they had 100 hamsters running their server. He says nowadays about 7 of those hamsters are still alive. So that's, it's time to get that's how he described it. It's like, you know what? That's kind of how it feels.
Well, and that's the attitude I have with this. This is how, you remember Diablo 3 when it launched? I couldn't play it for a full month.
WoW Classic. What was the other one? There was another one. Yeah, it was Diablo 3 was a bad
Diablo 3 was a bad one because
one.
they made it so you had to be online to play it. A single player game, you had to be online to play it, but you could never be online to play it.
Because of like the error code that you'd get.
So,
Overwatch was a bad one because
people that have experienced Blizzard know.
Interesting though, StarCraft never had said issues.
I can't remember StarCraft 2's launch multiplayer wise. Do you remember?
I don't.
I don't either.
Well, because I was playing Call of Duty at the time.
Warcraft 3 Reforged, that was a doozy.
It's less
that was a doozy.
Well, and it took me, David, 3 days to even get in. Like it was yesterday. I was not able to play Overwatch 2 until yesterday.
And it launched on Tuesday.
It was pretty bad. It was, but I can't. This is what
They've been doing this since 2004.
Yeah, it's
the expectation.
Yeah.
In fairness, Lost Vikings launched pretty well.
The Blizzard Arcade.
the one that was on a cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. 2004.
They just revamped it.
Rock and roll racing was flawless.
In chat, B-Boy Will, imagine if you took the day off of work. Like, I get why people are frustrated. Like, I'm not saying that Blizzard should get a pass because there's frustrating parts. So the game launched on Tuesday, right? The most frustrating part is people couldn't get into play, and you have the right to be mad when you purchased Overwatch 1. They take that away from you, and then now you can't play the new game.
Yeah, because they shut down Overwatch 1, so you can't even play the old game.
Yeah.
It actually replaced
now
on the console, on the Xbox console. It just did a game update.
Yeah.
And replaced the thumbnail.
And we'll talk about sequel. Yeah, and we'll talk about sequel, non-sequel later. But now, giving Blizzard again the benefit of the doubt. Apparently, there was a DDoS attack, which yes can cause issues.
Obviously,
I feel, and this is just me. Now, I used to work in the IT space, and I was pretty low level, so I'm not expert on this by any means.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, but I got to stand next to the Netflix server a couple times in my life, so that's my claim to fame. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Anyway, there are things you can do to help negate and combat DDoS attacks, right? Now, they're not, sometimes you're just going to get attacked and you're going to have to deal with it and go from there, right? I'm not saying that that's not a thing. I personally feel that Blizzard, let's say the company Blizzard, does not give the funding and resources to their games for launch. And that's why their games launch in such rough states, and then a few days later, they get everything sorted out and fixed, and then you can play, right?
I agree with that.
And that's just no. Look, they may have been attacked. I'm not saying that they weren't or anything like that. I get that sucks, and that does take a while to go through. But I just feel as a company as big as Blizzard, and as they have multiple games. They're an entire online network, right? I'm sure they get DDoS attacks. I wouldn't be surprised multiple times a month. You know what I mean? But I just feel like they weren't given the resources and the funding to launch this game successfully. It was a budget move, and that's just how I feel all of their launches go.
Do you know what a DDoS?
Just me.
Oh, I'm going to add on top of that. Do you know what a DDoS actually is? It's
distributed denial of service.
Yeah,
and then there's a DOS attack.
It's basically
denial of service.
Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of quote unquote computers, I guess, trying to access something at the same time. Everybody's trying to run through the door at the same time.
Yeah.
Here's my theory that's probably false, but
we were laughing about this, weren't we? Yeah.
Do you know what that looks like when you launch a game at the same time you're wide? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, all trying to log in at the same time. My theory is, I don't think it was a DDoS. I think it was actually people trying to log in. And they did not have the infrastructure to handle it. And they could be like, oh, Looks like a DDoS. Let's just say it's a DDoS to buy us a day or two.
Is it a DDoS? Well, there was this kid trying to do something with five IPs, but
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, like, there are. I mean, I'm not. I know a little, but not a lot. So keep that in mind. But there are a lot of companies that help protect big companies from getting DDoSed. Like,
Sure.
there are cybersecurity companies that help with that. There are ways to avoid it. There are ways to negate it.
Yeah, even when it does come in, when I was in the industry, I forget the name of the company, but they had a huge DDoS attack, and there wasn't necessarily a way to avoid it. But they basically, the way they solved it is they essentially rerouted all their traffic.
That's
Like,
yes.
it was really smart how they did. I forget the name. But
I
anyway.
mean, so streamers deal with DDoSes like daily. All they do is they just throw up a VPN and they're fine. So there's
they can't be targeted.
Obviously, at this scale, it's another discussion.
Because I mean, yeah,
for sure. But I honestly think that this is me, so this does not necessarily, my opinions are spicy. Does not necessarily
reflect the opinions of
XoneBros. I think I'm being lied to. I think there was no DDoS attack. I just think their infrastructure wasn't ready for this, and that's their cop out.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And you know what? Blizzard has done dishonest things in the recent past.
What's another lie? You know.
So, but let's take the DDoS stuff and let's just throw that off to the side because there's another main issue. There's actually a few main issues with the launch. There was the account merging issues, which was a big issue for a lot of players. That actually affected us and a friend of ours. And then
what that was is stuff from other accounts were not showing up. Also, purchasing stuff did not show up. Jordan has a great story about that.
Yeah. Funny story. I had 2,000 Overwatch dollars or coins or whatever they're called.
Because you bought the Watchpoint version.
I think some of it was from just like they converted all your coins from Overwatch 1 to 2 and
that
was I have like 500 of the legacy coins or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I went through all the skins because you can now purchase the old skins, and then I went through the store and I was like, you know what? There's really nothing that I want. You know what I mean? I have all the cool stuff that I want. So I was like, I'll just spend this on 10 levels. 2,000 coins is 10 levels on the battle pass. So I was like, I'll just spend it here. I spend it. It says, thank you for your purchase. And I was like, oh, you're welcome, you know? And then
pleasure doing business with you.
And then my battle pass levels don't move up. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, it was just like, it is actually the first time in probably 7 years I have opened up a ticket. And I was like, Blizzard, look, I'm not even mad. Can you just help me? Like, I think that's what I said. Like, I'm not even mad.
$20.
Like, can you just help me? Like, it was, can you just help me out? So hopefully there's an update tonight. Hopefully it gets fixed later. And anyway, that's that issue. I think the biggest issue was the text or the SMS security stuff.
Oh yeah, because
that was
so Overwatch. So Blizzard, to prevent Smurf accounts and hackers and things like that, they were restricting Blizzard accounts to have a phone number, essentially. Yes. For a lot of people, that's not a possibility. Some people at certain ages do not have phones, for example. Other people have, I don't know what to call them, but burner phones. They're the prepaid. Yeah. I call them burner phones because that's what Jason Bourne would call them. But those don't work with this.
Those phone numbers, yeah.
So they were not able to play this game because they didn't have that.
So you have people now. I'll admit it's probably a small percentage of people in this specific thing, but still, it's not good. People that purchased Overwatch 1, $40 or whatever edition they bought, they purchased Overwatch 1, they go to sign into Overwatch 2, their BattleNet tells them they are required to do an SMS security thing. They do it. One guy said he had a Cricket Wireless, and his phone number wouldn't register. So now he cannot play a game that he purchased, Overwatch 1, and cannot play the game that it updated to because of this phone number thing. Now, that being said, Blizzard did do a quick fix to allow, I think it was they allowed existing Overwatch 1 players to bypass that or something like that. So
if you had a account before July of 2021, I think it was something like that.
So quick fix, so hopefully a lot of people can get in. But there's been a lot of technical issues, and that's why I kind of like ignore the DDoS stuff. Let's just ignore that. Without that, there's still a lot of technical issues that the launch had. And again, I just think that is from Blizzard as a company says, hey, we don't want to invest the money or the time or resources to, like, I don't know how you would say it in layman's term, expand our servers, make sure everything's properly working. We'll just release the game and give us a week of bad press. Everybody will forget about it and go, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that, right?
Because a week of bad press with Blizzard is not.
Yeah,
is actually we'll take it.
And that's honestly that's just how I feel about it. And that's with all their games. Because like I said, Lich King Classic is like Wintergrass is still pretty laggy, and. In 2008, it's like, okay, the internet's still in its infancy, but now I feel, I don't know. It's just, that's the thing.
I don't want this discussion for people to think that we're giving Blizzard a free pass. We're not. We have been burned so many times that we're just like, okay, we're used to it. It'll go away.
And the thing is it is my own fault. I have given Blizzard probably more money than any other company in the world. And I just keep doing it. That's probably my own fault. Yeah. That being said, their strategy generally works because once you get into the game.
Yeah. Let's talk about the good things now.
Now we go on to the good things, which is what they, this is the part where we forget about the first couple days. Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Sure. Well, there's so many things I can talk about. Let's talk about actually the short that just came out.
Okay,
Blizzard used to make these like Pixar style shorts that are very, very, very good. They stopped doing that like 3 or 4 years ago when they probably started production on Overwatch 2, but they're very good. I think my favorite with you is Hanzo's short with really Genji. Good. Hanzo and Genji is fantastic. They just came out with another one, so it's really, really cool to see a new Pixar-style short. It's very emotional. It's with Kiriko.
Kiriko, yeah.
Yeah, Kiriko.
Which I believe she trained in the same clan as Hanzo and Genji.
Yeah. So. It's very good. I would suggest if you guys want to, if everybody's listening wants to share an emotional moment that has action, and it's just a really good 10-minute movie short with Pixar quality. I strongly recommend it. Just search Kiriko short on YouTube, and you'll have a good time. I like it when Overwatch. That shows to me that Blizzard, as far as the game, they're dedicated to the game again. Yeah. Which, after our first 10 minutes of this conversation about Overwatch may seem like they're not, but the creative side, and I would say the game side, the development side of this game, it's really exciting for me to be a fan of this game since the beta days of Overwatch 1, so years and years ago, to have it be so popular again and have this game be on such a healthy level. I would say balance-wise, even though tanks are extremely overpowered. Well, they're heavy hitters right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to adapt to certain gameplay styles, but we have several new characters to play. The characters are very fun. A lot of things have been rekit. A lot of characters have been rekitted. A lot of balance changes have been made. And again, this game is a very, very fun game to play. I would say, if you like the hero-style shooters, this is by far the best one out there. You could say like Valorant is up there, other games are up there. I would say those games are great. They are hero-style shooters. However, they're like team deathmatch style shooters, not hero role style shooters, where in this case you actually have a role to play. It's more like a sports team positioning. Like you have forwards, you have defensive players. In basketball, you have your all the positions that these sports play. It's the same with this. You have healers, you have frontline tanks, you have tanks that do different things. You have diving tanks, you have stationary tanks, you have DPS, which is damage dealing characters, and everybody has a position. It makes it a very, very fun game to learn, to play, and to just enjoy. especially with friends. Obviously, most games are more fun with friends, but it's a very, very good game to get into. I think it's the best hero role style shooter out there.
Yeah, it's good. I think playing the game now. Once we got in and started playing a few matches and playing with all the new heroes and stuff, and we did get to play the Overwatch 2 beta a bit, but it feels like it did when Overwatch 1 first came out. Yeah. Like it feels like it's in a good spot balance wise. Like we were saying, and I've noticed a lot of high end players have talked about it too. Tanks may need to be dialed back a little bit, but time will tell. We'll see how that goes.
So initially, it's because everything's kind of new right now.
Well, it's different. It's I would say it's a slight different gameplay style than what the last, I would say, 2 years of Overwatch 1 was.
Yeah. Now, B-Boy Wills, when is a good time to jump on? I don't know if that means jump in, because timing wise, for the next week, it's probably going to be rough with server. But to jump in this game, there has never been a better time. To start this game. You have a lot of new players coming in that haven't experienced a game like this before. That's why it's so exciting. I'm such a big fan of Overwatch, even though David's checked out. It's a really, really good time to play this game. I didn't mean to call you out, David. You're good.
Just like when we first started playing Overwatch 1, all the hero reworks, every hero I've played, which is most of them, they all feel fun and good again. Yeah. Like two of my favorite things about this patch, because I really don't think it's a sequel.
It's a patch that we've been waiting 3 years for.
Maybe you could say like, oh, when the PvE stuff comes out, that's the sequel. We can but we'll talk about that when that happens. It's basically like when Heroes of the Storm came out with Heroes 2.0. This is Overwatch 2.0. It's a big patch that reworked a lot of things. The number one thing I love, and this I stopped playing Overwatch maybe the last year of Overwatch 1. I kind of fell out of it, and that mostly probably because of I'd probably say the meta. And that's just the one thing I like about this one. And this is what I was saying to Mark. They have dialed back shields and stuns a lot. Like you don't see shields as much, and I believe only tanks can stun now, which makes sense. And I like that change. Like I love the fact that there's far less shields and far less stuns, and it makes sense that only tanks can stun. Now that may be a part of the thing that they got to dial back a little bit, but
you do have Anna's sleep dart, and so
which I guess that's still is that
stun. But the biggest, one of the most frustrating things to play before what he's talking about is just sitting there and getting re-stunned again and again and again, so you can't play, and then you're dead. That was not fun. So we could call this. I think we can essentially call this the fun patch.
Yeah. Well, and then just even before, there's been a lot of memes going around, on Twitter and stuff. If you look at Overwatch 1 pictures to Overwatch 2, there's 50 shields on one picture and then no shields on the other. It's really been a good change. The other thing I like, and this is what me and Mark were talking about before the show, is in Overwatch 1, I feel like there was a meta and there was hard counters to certain plays. I feel like in the 2.0 patch,
the fun patch,
I feel like there's still counters, but I feel like they're soft counters. So I don't think you're not necessarily required to swap heroes as much. And now I know you're going to say, well, Jordan, what about the new passive? I think it's your ultimate. If you switch players or characters during a match, your ultimate retains 30% of what it's been charged. And you could say that's to encourage swapping. I don't think it's to encourage swapping. I think it's just a quality of life thing. I don't think it's to encourage swapping necessarily, although swapping heroes is still an option and still a strategy and will still work in certain situations. I'm just saying, I feel like it's instead of hard counters, it's more of a soft counter. You know what I mean? I feel like it comes down more to your role, how you play as a team, how you map control, especially with these new maps, how they've been designed and reworked. I like that feel, right? I feel like when I switch characters, it's not to get a major advantage over the other team. It's me not being able to handle or play on the same level as another person on their team, and I need to switch to a character maybe I'm more comfortable with, or maybe a character that I can do better with in that situation, right? Again, it's weird to explain. I don't think it's a hard counter system anymore. I think it's a soft counter, and I enjoy that. Yeah. It makes it fun. It makes me feel like it's more my role that matters. And of course, in each role, you have a bunch of characters that have a bunch of different tool sets to help you accomplish your role. But that's one thing I felt playing the past couple days, and one thing I really enjoy about it.
Yeah. So, we are, we talked about the negative at first. It's a standard.
It's getting in.
Just a typical Blizzard launch. Yeah. Let's talk about the positive. Blizzard makes great games, and this is a good time to get into Overwatch if you've always felt behind. There's a lot of new players. It's exciting to have the balancing that they have. The gameplay is fun. I really don't know of another game that gives you the same role experience like this does. A 5v5 healing, damage, tank, like that trinity that you have with objectives. There's very few games that give you something like that.
Yeah.
Like even like Apex, like Valorant, like those other games are more or less would team deathmatch with different abilities.
Would you argue that that's what made World of Warcraft so good? Is that it gave you that and like at end game with the Trinity?
Yeah, it's the role. Peace. I love playing support. I absolutely love playing support. You have good support choices, and you have. I mean, you have full support, like full healing. You have characters like Zenyatta that's damage and healing. But you have pure damage characters that you roll queue with, so you can play those positions. I don't think there's any other game that gives you the experience that this gives you, and I'm glad that this game is hyped up again.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the game is in the state that it is with the balancing with the heroes. It's really exciting. It's another game that we can play. Also, their battle pass is a grind. I do have to
So
it's a Blizzard game. It's grinding.
Now I've not heard a lot of people talk about this, maybe because a lot of people haven't been able to log in yet. But I was looking online what other people thought of the battle pass, because we were sitting there last night and did the math. you have to play pretty consistently to get this out. Yeah, to make it to the top.
It's 80 levels.
Yeah.
And those levels are
and they take a while. Like you do get XP for just playing the game, which is great. There is a challenge system. I'm not a huge fan of the challenge system, as everybody knows from like Halo, but the difference between Overwatch and Halo is they give you far more challenges, so you don't feel like you're locked into doing. And the way challenges work is you complete so many, and then you're kind of done for the day.
Like for example, for dailies, they give you 6 challenges. You only need to complete 3 to get your XP.
Yeah. And your XP is 9,000, which is just under a level, which is 10,000, which is kind of funny. Yeah.
That's very Blizzard to do.
Yeah. Now, I was thinking about it last night, and this isn't me like saying, hey, you should make this change so I can unlock the battle pass, in 2 days. I think so. Every battle pass level is the same, 1 through 80. It takes 10,000 XP to get there. I don't think they need to make any adjustments to the XP, like how much you gain, how much you get for challenges, how much you get after playing a match. I think a sweet spot. Lower the requirement from 10,000 XP to 8,000 XP.
Yeah.
I think that would be the sweet spot. You'd still have a grind. You would still actually have to try to go through the battle pass. But I think it would feel more rewarding. Anyway, that's just my feedback for Blizzard on the battle pass. But for the most part, like once you're in the game, I feel like I'm playing Overwatch. Like I feel like how I felt when I played Overwatch 1 that first week. Like it feels good. It feels exciting. The heroes feel fun.
And you have a lot.
Love the change to 5. I know a lot of people don't like the roll lock, but in this situation with all the heroes, I like that it's 2 healers, 2 DPS, 1 tank. It's fun to play Overwatch again.
Yeah. So David, that's our feedback. Welcome back to the show. We'll probably be done talking about Overwatch.
Well, let's take a super chat from Super Shocker for 669. Super Shocker, thank you very much. He says, so David, how about that Dream Valley? Dreamlight Valley, I have been crushing. Okay? Been crushing. And for all the haters out there that say it's not badass, let me tell you, it is badass. The only thing more badass than Disney's Dreamlight Valley was Disney's A Little Mermaid.
Wait, there's a are you talking about a game or the actual cartoon from 1989?
Actually, remember the game I had it on Game.
Dude, those Disney games were actually hard.
Game Gear.
Like, did you guys ever
Or
play
the
Disney
Lion
games
King?
on Game Gear were awesome.
Yeah,
You remember
like Lion King,
Yeah.
Aladdin, and
Do you know
I had
how
Little
hard
Mermaid.
a Lion King was on Super Nintendo? I think it's like one of the hardest games ever.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's Scar, man. He'll get you.
Scar. No. Anyways, it's really good. Anybody that had a chance to try it out, I saw Soul Finder
fired
said
up
my kid took over my Xbox. She's playing Dreamlight Valley a ton. Dude, it's so good. So
I'll admit-
Spicy, hold on.
I enjoy playing.
Spicy, did you try it out? You didn't.
No.
You son of
wait,
a bitch. Okay?
Wait. Okay. I have
On Game
limited
Pass.
time.
It's on Game Pass.
You know what I had to do? I had to sit there and press A every 30 minutes to try to log into Overwatch.
I would like to make a prediction. Spicy would love this game.
It's very Animal
Disney,
Crossing.
it's Disney Stardew Valley.
I don't like to read.
Stardew Valley is all reading.
I know. I'm trying to give you excuses. Do I have to pay for this game?
No, it's free.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Of course it is. Of course. It just doesn't look badass.
Dude, it's so good. Neither does Stardew Valley.
Well, it's I would never have said Stardew Valley is badass. I would say Stardew Valley is fun.
Which is badass. Fun is badass, okay?
That's a good T-shirt.
Fun equals badass.
Yeah, that's a good T-shirt.
Or fun is badass.
Maybe that should be our new
Motto.
our new
slogan.
6-month T-shirt.
Oh yeah, we could do. Fun is badass.
Fun is badass.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I just unlocked Moana, everyone.
Good job.
Her house is now on my beach.
All right. Yeah.
Yes, I talked to, is it Maui? What's his name? Maui. He's hilarious. He was a hilarious dude.
He is funny.
Sucks as singing in the game as much as it does in the movie.
Well, he doesn't sing, does he? Because it's not voice acted, right?
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry, Rock.
All right. Thank you, Super Shocker.
Sorry,
for
Dwayne.
That, super
Sorry, Dwayne.
chat.
Should we take a question, everybody?
Yeah.
Let's take a question. Our question comes in from the one and only Soul Finder, who's actually here in chat. He says, "What Harry Potter house are all the bros?" He says, "I'm going to guess. McSpicy is Gryffindor." Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I am all about the just and the right, and I will fight to achieve that.
Jordan is Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
Jordan's a little pissed about this.
I don't like that. I'd rather be a Ravenclaw than a Hufflepuff. Although, I do know that, speaking of The Rock, I think The Rock is a Hufflepuff.
Why
I think he
are
said
you
he's a
against
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff? Why do you hate Hufflepuff?
I just don't. I wouldn't fit in with those guys.
Why?
I don't even think The Rock would fit in with those guys.
Hufflepuff aren't gamers.
Yeah. Like, I think I would, like, if
Hold on,
I were
I'm
to
gonna
go
look
in
up-
an
I'm gonna look
order.
up the houses here.
Of course, everybody wants to be in Gryffindor, right? So, Gryffindor,
Hey.
right? But I would go like Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Gryffindor would be like my 3-2-1.
Okay. They're loyal and true and unafraid of toil, so they're hard workers.
You're like a
That's not me.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Your man's best friend.
Also,
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff is one of the most inclusive among the four houses, valuing hard
Well,
work.
see, that's why Jordan doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I only want certain. I only want, what is it? Slytherin. They want the pure, right? They only want pure bloods in their house, or something. No, I
Valuing hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play rather than a particular aptitude in its members.
Oh, okay, that's well. You'll be welcome there.
Hufflepuff is the chess club.
The Badger.
Hey, there's
Which is
nothing
that-
wrong
yeah,
with the chess club.
There's nothing wrong with the
Badger.
chess club.
I was in the chess club, Jordan.
There's nothing wrong with the chess club.
And I'm Gryffindor. I'm going to kick your
Okay,
ass.
here's the traits. Here's the traits of Hufflepuff. Students belonging to this house were known to be hardworking, friendly, loyal, honest, and rather impartial.
Dang it, maybe I am.
They're
Hufflepuff.
not as competitive. Hufflepuffs are not as competitive as the other houses.
No,
and
see,
were
I'm pretty
modest
competitive.
and are modest about their accomplishments.
That's a good shirt. Dang it. I think I am Hufflepuff.
Yeah, that's another. Man, we got a lot of shirts coming down. Yeah.
Dang it. I think I'm Hufflepuff.
Dang it, I think I am Hufflepuff.
That is
Read Ravenclaw for me.
How do I find Ravenclaw?
Well, you're on the wiki. Just type in Ravenclaw.
There's no. Do you see a search? Oh, there it is. I found it. I
Oh,
found
is it one of the wikis where
Oh,
it's
right.
like impossible to find a search?
it right here. Okay. No,
Right.
let's go. Okay, Ravenclaw. Okay, wait, but we got to finish the question.
Who was Luna Lovegood? Was she Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw?
Honestly, I would be
I think she
asking
was
you
Ravenclaw.
this.
I think No, I think she was. Was she Ravenclaw? She was Ravenclaw. See,
Soulfinder says, and David is not from Hogwarts. He is from some other weird school.
He's from the school that like Bulgarian guy comes from.
Yeah, that's me.
They walk in like banging their sticks to like hip hop music.
Viking school.
The Viking school of dragons. That's
Yeah, was Luna
Here we
Lovegood
go.
Ravenclaw? Look, their sigil's so much better too.
Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw. Its founder was the medieval witch Rowena Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I know. Don't they? Yeah, yeah.
Members of this house were characterized by their wit, learning, and wisdom. Their symbol's the eagle. Okay, traits. Ravenclaw house prized learning, wisdom, wit, and intellect in its members. Thus, many Ravenclaws tended to be academically motivated. How is not Hermione in Ravenclaw?
I think she was supposed to.
Plot armor. Yeah. Like the plot needed to progress, so she had to be in Gryffindor.
Well, and
Plot armor. Yeah.
Well,
They also pride themselves on being original in their ideas and methods. I feel like Spicy's actually a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I'm not a Ravenclaw. I probably
You're definitely not a Ravenclaw, no.
probably, to be honest with you, I'm probably a Hufflepuff, but I would probably do what Harry did. Please not Hufflepuff. Please not. Please not Slytherin.
well, you could do what?
I know, and that's what so he was like. You'd do great in a Hufflepuff, and then he'd be like, well, if that's not Hufflepuff, Gryffindor.
Oh, here we go.
Who has the best Quidditch record?
Hermione Granger, an extremely intelligent... Hermione Granger.
Wait, you looked up Hermione?
No, this is in the Ravenclaw thing. Hermione Granger, an extremely intelligent witch and the top student of the year, was sorted into Gryffindor, though she admitted that the Sorting Hat had seriously considered placing her in Ravenclaw. Okay, let's go.
Fun facts.
And then the Sorting Hat was like, oh, shoot, the plot needs her in Gryffindor.
You know what? The Sorting Hat was like 900 years old, right? Maybe he was just like
He knows everything.
senile at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he was just spitting words that made no sense. He was getting confused.
Okay, Gryffindor,
These are the jocks.
it's a lion is their emblem.
like
so
they're
the
the jocks
eagle
of
is the
campus.
lion of the Ravenclaw. The Gryffindor house emphasized the traits of courage, as well as daring, nerve, and chivalry. And thus its members were generally regarded as brave, though sometimes to the point of recklessness.
I always open the door for people at restaurants. Chivalrous.
I'm pretty reckless. I'm brave to the point of recklessness.
Yeah.
I purposely walk up to the door and wait for someone to open it for me.
Yeah,
I'm Ravenclaw.
so you're definitely not I'm a Gryffindor.
Jordan, I need you in my life so you can open my door.
Notably, Gryffindor House contributed many members to Dumbledore's army and the Order of the Phoenix, although this may have been because the main
Gryffindor's the military of the magical world.
But see, that's why... Never mind, I won't get into it.
Okay.
They're the foot soldiers.
Okay, I feel like I could...
They storm the beaches.
They should have a better infrastructure for military and
Okay.
security. I think that's the flaw of the whole
I feel
book.
like I might be in Gryffindor, but let's check out Slytherin.
Yeah, Slytherin, they're mean.
It'll start out, they're
they've
the
got a
racist
snake.
ones.
Yeah, no, they kind of are. Like, of the magical world, they kind of are.
Okay, let's see. Slytherin was a pureblood supremacist and believed half-bloods. Okay, traits. Here we go. Slytherins tended to be ambitious, shrewd, cunning, strong leaders, and achievement-oriented. They had
get stuff done.
They also had highly developed senses of self-preservation. This means that
They were
Slytherins...
cowards.
This means that Slytherins tended to hesitate before acting so as to weigh all possible outcomes before deciding exactly what should be done. Yeah, not me. I'm much more reckless than that.
I feel like this is like...
I feel like you're Ravenclaw.
Okay,
I feel like I
You're
probably am
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, which is kind of frustrating now because when the game comes out, I'm going to be serious. I was going to just go Gryffindor all the way, but now I'm going to be seriously conflicted.
You got to play your traits.
Yeah. I'm
What
going
if
to
they
have
just ignore
Are you showing hesitation? You're Slytherin. You're
Yeah, but-
considering all options right now,
Yeah,
Jordan.
but I do like all people. Like Slytherin is very closed door. Like they are.
I don't know. When you were playing City Skylines, you really did not like
no,
us.
pretty
that's-
shrewd.
That's because people weren't listening. It was,
You were pretty shrewd.
See, that's why you're a good leader. You will cut off the part of the community.
If you could Google search who has the best Quidditch record,
Okay, who
that's
has the
who's
best
that's who's
Quidditch?
no matter who it is, that's whose house I'm joining. Best
Who has-
Quidditch record.
Which house? I'll say which house.
Which house has the best Quidditch record?
house
if
has
there is
the
an
best-
answer to this,
I'm in that
Oh,
house. That's-
guaranteed there
you
is.
think there's an answer to this?
Guaranteed.
How does somebody know this information? It's
if
not in the book.
Klingon is a language.
Yeah, but how do you,
there's
how do you
extended
ca-
books. Like I have a book at my house called The History of Magic, and it's the Harry Potter
yeah,
universe.
what's her face write that, or did some like guy?
I think she oversees a lot. I don't know if she specifically writes them. I think she
how do you?
She has like huge say in the franchise.
This is like Hot Dog Day. And you know how like there's holidays and it's like, look, today's National Hot Dog Day. Who decided that it was Hot Dog Day? Who decided which ones that had all these? Is there an actual answer to this?
There is not only an answer.
Oh my god!
They have it broken
the history.
down.
I'm telling you, this is great.
I get annoyed with holidays, like fake holidays, and I think I'm going to be.
They
annoyed
have
with
it
this
broken down by years. Hold on, I want to see.
from when Hogwarts started
Yeah.
to now. Okay,
Winners.
who
Here we
is
go.
the
But who made this information? Hold on. Maybe I got to say this. This is fiction, right? Oh,
They even have the squats. This is awesome, dude. Man, this is
all right. Never mind.
This is,
I don't understand why you're. This is. I'm sure J.K. Rowling oversaw this.
Yeah, if Klingon it can be a language.
Why do you feel like I'm arguing for that as well? You're like bringing that up like I'm going to get defensive.
You're a Star Trek guy.
No,
You're
I
a
like
Star Trek guy.
but I don't understand how this information came about.
Did you know J.R.R. Tolkien made his family speak Elvish at the dinner table?
Okay, with an author like that, I will believe that there was a second age. Okay.
So it looks
I heard that somewhere. I don't know.
It looks like it's Gryffindor with Slytherin in second place. They don't tabulate it, but they do break it down by year.
That makes sense because, to be honest, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw don't seem like the sports type.
Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. I might have an answer here for you. Oh no, see, they're going by school years. So they just take the champions, not matches. They're taking the champions from each of the school years.
Who does make up fake holidays?
This is hilarious.
Like, is it just like PR firms or like marketing? Because like, I get that text from Wiener Schnitzel every year. Today is National Hot Dog Day.
Today's National Wiener Day.
Wiener Day. Treat yourself to a wiener. Oh man.
Man, I think I'm gonna have to. I think he's right. Who asked this question?
Soulfinder.
Soulfinder. I think
You're a Hufflepuff, bro.
I think I'm a Hufflepuff. Well, I mean,
everybody likes a Hufflepuff.
I get that, but
No,
Except you.
that's incorrect.
Except you.
Hufflepuff likes everyone. There's a difference.
I can say at least The Rock is a Hufflepuff too.
Welcome. Welcome.
Man,
At least The Rock is a Hufflepuff.
yeah, at least The Rock is a Hufflepuff. I guess I'm a Hufflepuff.
What famous people was mine? Ravenclaw, the chess club, apparently.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Is there any famous
The
people in
dude that
Ravenclaw?
cheated at chess with beads.
Yeah, that's Ravenclaw.
Okay, all right.
No, Soulfinder, he says you just seem like a Hufflepuff kind of guy. He's right.
They're a Hufflepuff.
And now I'm conflicted when the game comes out. I was going to go just straight Gryffindor.
Damn you, Soulfinder.
Yeah, but now I have to
Damn you.
like, because I like to role play, you know?
You have to be true to you.
Yes. Hufflepuff.
Well, everybody, that's a great way to end the show. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you haven't yet, or even if you have, see if they'll let you do it twice. Go leave us a 5-star review. Over on Apple Podcasts, over on Spotify, wherever you listen to us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. It's always a good time. It's been a long week. I was in Texas this last week.
I love
Texas
that place.
is awesome.
And you knew what meat you were getting when you ordered.
I love Texas.
You knew when
It's
you ordered
so
meat, you were
cool.
getting meat.
Oh, I knew it. Have you seen the pictures of the food I had?
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh,
It
dirty.
inspired me to smoke some stuff.
Oh, dirty
like in
pop.
the barbecue.
That inspired me to smoke some.
Like barbecue wise.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.
I'm so far